Welcome, my name is Sean Cullen and here we are looking at the Digibattle between the Brisbane Lions and the West Coast Eagles. What I want to take you through here is how we came up with the Digibattle, how we measured it, and how we used different tools to measure the results from the Digibattle. First of all, a little bit of background on how we're going to run the Digibattle. The Digibattle is run within SportsDP. SportsDP, in 140 characters, grades a fan's social media activity based on the support they show for your team. So we were able to develop rules specifically for the Brisbane Lions fans and for the West Coast Eagles fans to encourage their fans to be better fans of the team. And we do that by scoring their activity on both Facebook and Twitter. Let's have a look at the teams as they stand so far. First of all, the West Coast Eagles rolled out the swoop in last year's final series. They currently have a whole bunch of fans in there creating a lot of activity. This site is available on the West Coast Eagles site, so it's embedded into their page. And then just recently, the Brisbane Lions also rolled out a version of SportsDP and they named it Digital Pride. So we're going to look at the stats that came out of the results both of the swoop and the Digital Pride. But let's have a look at how they match up in Facebook and Twitter. West Coast Eagles, way out in front, smashed through the 100,000 Facebook fan barrier earlier this year. The Brisbane Lions are just starting to develop their fan base and were just lucky enough to, only a couple of weeks ago, to get past the 50,000 barrier. But what we do is we actually do adjust the posts to make sure that this is a fair fight. On the Twitter side of things, again, the Eagles have been pushing their social media platforms a little bit longer than the Brisbane Lions, and as such, they have over 15,000 Twitter followers. The Lions growing steadily at nearly 9,000 Twitter followers. So let's have a look at what we measured and what were the key criteria for the Digibattle. The first one was measuring the fan participation inside the SportsDP platform. And what we saw over the weekend was a big increase in fan activity where fans were tweeting more, retweeting more, liking a lot more activity on Facebook, sharing posts, sharing content and liking posts on Facebook. The win this weekend has to go to the Brisbane Lions. They saw a 7.97% increase in the points per fan. The Eagles, their activity was also up to 5%. But the win for this category has to go to the Brisbane Lions as their fans became more active over the weekend. Our second criteria was Facebook pre-game likes. And this was a comprehensive win to the West Coast Eagles, where they got 3,612 likes on their pre-game posts. The Brisbane Lions only got 323. We adjusted that to match the two Facebook numbers. But the Brisbane Lions have only been using the pre-game post in the last 4 weeks, so there was a decided advantage for the West Coast Eagles. The West Coast Eagles fans know to really rally around that post before the game, and a comprehensive win there for the West Coast Eagles. Next, we pit the Facebook mascots against one another, with Bernie Vegas and Rick the Rock both having Facebook pages. So what we did is we developed a rule inside SportsDP to encourage the fans of West Coast and of the Brisbane Lions to also like their mascot. And the results out of SportsDP see that 9% of Rick the Rock's fan base actually comes from SportsDP. And even though the Brisbane Lions fans have only been on the Digital Pride for only 3 weeks, 6.74 of the fans for Bernie have actually come from SportsDP. And what we will see is we'll see the engagement with those mascot pages grow over time. The West Coast Eagles Rick the Rock page, for instance, average of 10 engagement actions per fan via the fans that are connected via SportsDP. So they're really providing a lot of engagement for what really is a niche Facebook page for the West Coast Eagles. So Rick the Rock gets the win in this category. The next thing we looked at was Twitter and how were we measuring the specific team hashtags. So for the Lions, it's Go Lions, and for the Eagles, it's Go Eagles. Very simple, uncomplicated game day hashtags that pretty much reflect what the fans are yelling out in the stands. We ran a tweet reach report over the tweets for the weekend. We saw that 588 West Coast Eagles fans tweeted "Go Eagles," and we saw that 465 Lions fans tweeted "Go Lions." And so it was very important to see, one, that there are more fans doing it. I think that's more important than the actual number of tweets, because you can get one or two people that does a lot of tweets, and if you're effectively just counting tweets, it's not a fair indication of your base. So when we look at that fan base compared to their number of followers, we see that the Brisbane Lions get the win with over 5% of their fan base contributing over the weekend to the hashtag Go Lions, with the Eagles at around 4%. What was interesting though is inside Sports DP, both were over 35% in the amount of fans that are active in Sports DP using the hashtags. So we can see that Sports DP is developing that digital cheer squad and is alerting more fans to be using the game day hashtag. But from a Twitter battle, the Brisbane Lions get the win. And they would have been encouraged with the 2-point victory, which would have probably sparked a few more people tweeting after such a big win like that. And the last one that we were encouraging in Sports DP is to encourage the fans to retweet and amplify the team account. And so from the stats from Sports DP, we had 131 fans from the West Coast Eagles retweeting West Coast Eagles tweets over the weekend, and we had 60 of the Brisbane Lions fans retweeting the Brisbane Lions accounts over the weekend. Now again, as a percentage of the amount of fans that are in Lions Pride and that are in the swoop, we give the victory to the Brisbane Lions, because 1 in 4 people that have scored their tweets and scored their Facebook actions in Sports DP, 1 in 4 of those started retweeting the Brisbane Lions. And this was definitely a course correction behaviour. When we first did the initial stats of the Brisbane Lions Twitter account, the fans weren't retweeting the Brisbane Lions at all. There was a lot of replies, there was mentions obviously of the Brisbane Lions, but they weren't really amplifying the Brisbane Lions account. So there was some tactical changes in the voice and the way that the posts were put up on the Brisbane Lions Twitter account to make them more retweetable. And again, with a big victory becomes lots of retweets, and the Brisbane Lions were lucky enough to have their largest retweeted tweet over the weekend, which again would have contributed to the win in this battle. But 25% of the fans in Sports DP had retweeted the Brisbane Lions, and nearly 20% of the fans in the West Coast Eagles, the swoop, retweeted the West Coast Eagles. So our final tally, much like the game itself, was a 3-2 split, with the Brisbane Lions getting a close victory and taking the points in the Digibattle. We look forward to seeing how the fans continue to engage with the Brisbane Lions and the West Coast Eagles in Digital Pride and the Swoop. If you want any more information about Sports DP, about how to turn your fans into brand evangelists even, how to drive your fans to social actions, get them to do what you want them to do, and what you can do with Sports DP is develop that digital cheer squad to promote your team, get your message out there, and train your fans in the actions that you want them to do. The fans love seeing their name in lights, especially their ranking, back on your website, so it always drives traffic back and allows you to now run social promotions that get your fans to be the key drivers for those social promotions, which sponsors love. It obviously builds your talking about this numbers in Facebook and does have the ability to connect your sponsors to that digital fan base when we can roll out a sponsored rule to ask the fans to like or promote a sponsored promotion that you're trying to do with a simple tweet or a Facebook share. If you want any more information, please give me a call. You can tweet me at Sean Callanan or go to SportsGeek HQ and fill in the contact form, or check out sportsdigitalpassion.com for any more information. Congratulations to the Brisbane Lions for the win in the Digibattle, and I look forward to our next Digibattle using Sports DP. Cheers.